Need a last minute outfit or gift? Try the Last Minute Fleece Shawl. No sewing. Welcome back to another GoodKnit Kisses tutorial. I'm your host, Kristen. Let's get started. Let's grab our supplies for the Last Minute Fleece Shawl. You're going to need 2 yards of fleece. It can be anywhere from a 32-inch wide to a 60-inch wide piece of fabric. You'll need a cutting mat, a rotary blade, a straight edge, a measuring tape, and marking chalk. I cannot emphasize too much that marking chalk is very important, and your straight edge will be important for making those straight lines for making the cut later. Click on the link in the description below to get more details and this drawing. You will be able to make 2 different sizes from this pattern. In fact, if you have a 60-inch wide piece of fabric, you can make at least 2 of these. You can make 1 in each size. It makes approximately a 20-inch by 64-inch or a 23 by 72 inch. I will talk about both of those sizes in this same video. Okay, we're going to be making a triangle shawl, and it's going to be asymmetrical and run wider at this point down to a thin tip here, and then we'll have little slits in here. So I'm going to show you how to cut it, and once you're done cutting, you're actually done with your shawl. So what we want to do is we've got 2 different sizes. This is a 60-inch width, and you cut it in half, or you can double it over and cut through 2 at the same time, or you have to be careful, make sure to go through both cuts. This one I'm going to show the 64 length, and there is also a 72. So I want to put this on at my 30-inch marker on my cutting mat here, or you can measure that out. And then I've got my midpoint that I've marked with my marking chalk at 15. And then I'm going to put down my straight edge ruler and put the midpoint at 10, and I want to measure 20 across. Now for the 72-inch long, I'm going to measure it 23 across. And then I'm just going to take my chalk and mark it at the 0 and the 20. And then I'm going to measure up from this edge up 6.5 inches for the smaller and 7.5 inches for the larger. So I'm at 6.5 inches, and I'm going to mark this kind of a crisscross mark like that. And then I'm going to use the straight edge and line up my mark here and line up my mark here. And I can go ahead and cut it, or I can mark it with the chalk and do all my outlines first. Okay, so this is where you will end up making your cut. I'm going to show you how to make all the marks first, and then you can cut it. Now what I want is I want to measure the center point down here, and this is 15, which I already have, and take my straight edge ruler here and go along this edge and measure a straight line, and you can mark it if you need to in spots, and mark it and measure it up to 64 for the small or 72 for the large. And then if you see at the other end, I have a crisscross where that mark is. And now you want to make a straight line going from here to there and from there to here. So I found it easier to go to the other end and kind of eyeball with this where this one lays, and then kind of line it up. So I'm going to go to the other end and show you how I mark it up. I'm at this line, and I can see about where he is, and I can even use one of these as a guide. So I have a separate one, and I can use that to line it up, and then I can go ahead and mark. So go ahead and mark your lines, and then I'll show cutting it. As you can see, I have my 64-inch one lined out, and it would be a little longer and wider for the 72. And now we want to mark where these slits are going to go. So I'm just showing you how all the markings go first before you make your cuts. So what I've done here is I've taken this corner here and gone up 2 inches, and then I'm measuring across here, making a line here and marking it, and then measuring up 2 inches and marking it. And then I want to cut this into 7 equal parts, relatively equal, so that it makes 6 cut lines on here. You can eyeball them if you want, or you can take your ruler, measure it out, and do the math on it. This one is about 17, so we'll divide this up. This one I measured out about 2 1/4 to 2 1/2 inches apart from each other, and then I'm going to have this line that goes across here. So about every 2 1/2 inches, I'll have this line that I'm going to cut. So now you're just going to go ahead and make all those cuts. You only cut on this part here, you only cut out these 6 little slits. So let's just start here. Okay, and then now we're going to make this other shortcut here. And then go ahead and cut the rest of yours up. Make sure and move your cutting board down as you make your cuts. You're nearly done. Just brush out the extra, and if you got off your mark, that's okay. It doesn't have to be a perfect piece. This is meant to be quick and simple. So in order to use your shawl, you're just going to take it and go walk around this way. Take this point and you're going to weave it through here. So just pick up the first 2, pull it in, pick up the next 2, pull it in, pick up the next 2, pull it in. And you have got yourself a fun, quick shawl. There you go. I ended up making the medium and large size, the 64 and then the 72s on the right. And I also made another one in a fleece that has a suede back with the really soft fluffy fleece on the other side. It looks really cool texturally when you twist it and put it in there. This one's showing the larger size. My daughter, who's size small to medium adult, loves it, and I can also wear it on myself, and I usually use like a 3X, so it was perfect for both of us. I hope you enjoy it for any last minute gifts or to make for yourself, and your friends and family do as well. On behalf of GoodKnit Kisses and myself, Kristen, I hope you have a great day. Please subscribe and happy crafting. Bye-bye.